All right, hello, greetings, and welcome everyone to this news video. I am the Ninjaneer, and the topics we're covering today are as follows. Elon's pay package, RJ's pay package, Nissan sells its headquarters, Supercar Blondie on Aptera, Matt Farrell on the state of solid state, Toyota is stalling, what all EVs could be, Aptera is validating their assembly line, new recycling methods for EVs, European wind projects, and things that I liked. Let's get going. All right, so I did not talk about this previously because it kind of missed my scope of view. There was a lot going on the week that this was occurring, the weeks rather that this was occurring. But essentially, Elon Musk had a pay package proposed, or rather, he proposed a pay package that would end up being worth about $1 trillion with the stock increasing in a way that he was projecting, or rather the company was projecting it would grow or change. That pay package was hotly debated. It was talked about by many, mostly not on friendly or nice terms. But anyway, this pay package would be worth $1 trillion, and people were like, oh, that is a big number, which it is. There are countries that make less than $1 trillion in 10 years. So yeah, it makes sense that people would be anxious. I don't know. I couldn't necessarily tell you what the overall feeling was when it came to this pay package, but it was not positive overall. We'll say that. But anyway, the same way he had formatted his pay structure before is the way he formatted it now. Basically, he is going to meet certain milestones, and after he meets said milestones after 10 years, then he will get a total of $1 trillion. This is not all. The difference between this pay package and the previous one, to me, appears to be the fact that he doesn't have to hit all of these milestones together to get paid at the very end. He needs to hit milestones over a set number of years in order to get the full pay package over the 10 years. I'm guessing he's hoping that this new format, this new structure is going to be set up in a way that the courts won't necessarily stick their noses into as readily. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, essentially what's going on is he's put together a pay package. That pay package was approved by the shareholders. So assuming that no courts get involved in about 10 years time, he will receive this stock, making him the first trillionaire in history, technically speaking. This pay package actually made me interested in doing a fast math over just how big this number is. I haven't figured out how to set it up, but yeah, it's going to be a thing sometime in the near future. Anyway, that is his pay package. I thought I was going to be more negative than I was, so we're just going to leave it there so that I am not negative. All right. And so, unsurprisingly, this type of pay package in the automotive world is starting to become more mainstream in a way that even other CEOs are starting to absorb this type of pay package or want this type of pay package, that kind of thing. So RJ Scaringe decided that he was going to go for this same style, basically hit milestones, get money of pay package, but his is 4.6 billion, which is 50 times more reasonable, in my opinion, than Elon Musk's. Okay, so you know you're struggling when you have to sell your house and become a tenant in it. This is basically what Nissan just did. They sold their headquarters to a a company. That company is now leasing their headquarters to them. So Nissan no longer owns its headquarters. There's various long-standing, drawn-out reasons for this, and it will take me some time to get into it, so I'm not going to get into it in this video. But yeah, essentially what's gone on is that the Nissan is struggling financially, and in order to, I guess, lessen their financial burden, they have decided to sell their headquarters along with other assets, as far as I understand it, in order to make sure that they can meet their bills and get back on their feet. I certainly hope that they can get back on their feet. Nissan has made a lot of very pronounced, very public mistakes in the recent past, and that is part of the reason why they're in this situation. I hope they get out of it. I don't like Nissan necessarily as much as like Honda, but I still feel that Nissan was one of those companies that I had a lot of sentiment toward growing up. All right, so a theme, if you guys have not already noticed in this video, is that I'm covering topics that I missed or that I did not see in early November. So here we are with another article about Aptera. Basically, Supercar Blondie has a web page that does articles and things like that, which is kind of a companion to her YouTube channel, in that this website usually talks about things that the channel doesn't have time to talk about, doesn't feel like making a video over, whatever, their inner workings are. I have no idea, but this article is very well written. It talks about Aptera and how they are the future of EVs in a lot of ways. Yeah, just really solid writing, solid reporting. I don't know Miss Daisy Edwards, but I do think she did a very good job with this particular article. All right, so Undecided with Matt Farrell. He talks about, in this video, a lot of the things that I mentioned in my last video about how I believe that solid state production, solid state batteries are still some time away. Or rather, that I feel that they're some time away, and that because of the way that they're talking about solid state batteries, it could feel a little scammy. But yeah, he also emphasized in this video that there are cars rolling around on the road right now, which I also mentioned, with solid state batteries in them. I just don't think any of them are being mass produced right now. One thing that Matt Farrell covered that I did not was the fact that, generally speaking, they are much closer to volume production of these solid state batteries than what I believe I indicated in my video last week. So yeah, I mean, cool. I liked the video because it gave a lot of context that I did not have the opportunity to give, mostly because I did not do enough research. I still believe that solid state batteries are a long ways off, especially considering the next story we're going to talk about. But I do appreciate the fact that he gave more context than I did. And he is more optimistic than I am currently with respect to where solid state batteries are. Time will tell, but yeah, I like this video for its research. All right, aforementioned story is now. Toyota is delaying their EV plans again. We're going to just go ahead and scroll down to why they're delaying their battery plant this time. Earlier this year, Toyota bought a 280,000 square meter plot of land in Fukuoka. Oh my goodness. Fukuoka, Japan, where it planned to build a plant to produce the more advanced EV batteries. A location agreement was expected to be signed in April, but Toyota pushed back the construction by several months, blaming slower than expected demand for EV vehicles. The agreement was expected to be finalized this fall, and that will no longer be the case, according to Nikkei. Toyota is delaying the EV battery plant for a second time. Toyota will review and adjust plans over the next year. Yeah, so Toyota's delaying because EV demand is too low. I still don't understand the calculus, and maybe this is why I'm not a multi-billionaire or something, but I still don't understand the calculus that gets you to this technology, even though it is absolutely taking over, should be delayed on. We should not build on this stuff right now. I don't get that calculus. Oh yeah, this gold is sitting here laying on the ground. This money is sitting here laying on the ground. I'm going to wait a few more years until hundreds of other people have picked up that money, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of that money too. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, not a billionaire, not a CEO of a very huge company that has been fairly successful over the past 100 years. So, you know, that's, you know, my, I guess, disconnect when it comes to that. And that's why I don't have the context perhaps, but yeah, Toyota is baffling me, and it hurts my brain. Okay. So there is a vehicle that exists that is very small and very cute and very economical. I believe that this could be a template for just general cars in life, in the world. There are so many things that I think are great about this car. Although I do acknowledge that it is probably only a car designed for moving around the city, it is still very nice and very cool. It is something that I would own if I was not already looking at the Aptera and about to purchase that. So yeah, this thing is more or less right up my alley. The Renault Twingo is right up my alley when it comes to a car that I'm looking for. Yeah, I wonder how well or how efficiently this car was designed as an EV, and I'm going to be making sure that I keep my eye on this vehicle to kind of cover it a little more and figure out how well they did with making a car based on a different model that they used to have into an EV. Like, did they just take out the gas thing and slap a battery in there? Like, what did they do? I'm really curious, and this article and none of the coverage on this vehicle so far has given me good reference points for what this car is. I will say, though, that they have given the specs. They haven't given the cubic meters inside or any of that stuff, but yeah, it's going to go for about $23,000. Which is cheaper than the Nissan Leaf. It has a 27.5 kilowatt hour battery pack and 80 horsepower, which will get it around 163 miles by European standards, so maybe 140 miles for the US spec. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I have no real qualms or issues with this car. I like the way it looks to a degree. I like the way it is small and economical and cheap, and you can park it anywhere. I like how this could change how the layout of a city is planned with respect to the sizes of parking spaces and meters and things like that. It just, downtown areas would love this car, and I would love to get it if I, like I said, if I wasn't looking at the Aptera. So, very cool car. Speaking of Aptera, they wrote an article about the initiating of validation line testing and things like that. They are putting together the final assembly line. You can see this really cool picture with the jig that they are using to put together the Aptera. They're probably setting glue or something in this particular setup. I cannot tell for sure, but it is beautiful, whatever it is, because it's going to get us Apteras a little bit faster. Yeah, so in general, I really like the fact that their facility is finally starting to fill out with the assembly line technologies, and the fact that they're testing that assembly line technologies and technology and validating whether or not this stuff is going to get them where they need to go. Practicing in building vehicles. They're going to put together like 10 vehicles or something like that. Let me see. I thought it said in here, but I don't think it does. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like it says in here how many models they're putting together, but you can see in one of these pictures here that it is substantial. There are bigger pictures of these that I'm going to talk about later, but yeah, basically Aptera is putting together their assembly line. They're really trying to get the pedal to the metal and make it to production and to finish validation and get on the roads. So I can hardly wait. I am super excited. Okay, so this is another kind of technical, very, very heavy topic. But basically, there are new EV recycling processes that were discovered that recover a really good amount of the battery materials. This article says that research in South Korea has developed a new eco-friendly recycling process that recovers more than 95% of nickel and cobalt from old EV batteries with almost perfect purity. The novel recycling technique was developed by scientists at the Ulsan National Institute of Science and Technology, UNIST. The team behind the novel method believes that it could reshape global lithium-ion battery industries. The global lithium-ion battery industry. Let's see. In contrast to recycling with a wet process, the technology relies on a selective electrochemical separation. I'm going to go ahead and skip some of the details, but basically they take the battery and then they put it in a couple of solvents, a couple of solutions that break down the chemicals that a battery is made of. One of these chemicals bonds to the nickel, another bonds to the cobalt, and generally speaking, it separates those things in a way where if they put an electric current through these materials, they will separate in different heights in a fluid. So they mix the battery together with this set of solvents, and then they put the solvents and the metals in a liquid, and then they electrically charge that liquid, and then the stuff, the battery materials separate themselves, and then they can just take the components off of one another easily without having to do a lot of rinsing or using a bunch of water and things like that. It's a lot more clean, a lot more efficient, and a lot more effective than the previous version of the technology to recycle batteries. I expect or suspect that this is going to become the standard because it is just that efficient, just that cool. I don't see a reason why people wouldn't move to this method because, again, it is so much more intuitive and so much easier than what the current standard is. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing where this technology goes. But yeah, it is really cool. When you get into the nuts and bolts and details of it, it's really cool. So yeah, check out this article. Check out the links in the article if you're curious. But yeah, very cool stuff. All right, so the UK has put together a wind turbine project that has been approved. Yeah, it's going to power 1.2 million homes. It is just really cool to see that they are really trying to push for a general just reshaping of their energy grid. I wish I could have seen such a pronounced... Alrighty, get out of here, you. I wish I could have seen such a pronounced push for renewable energy in America, and maybe we will still see that. But at the moment, the rest of the world is catching on that renewable energy is the future. Even without the world-saving reduction in CO2, they are more efficient, they are cheaper, and they are overall better for the grid and how it's formatted currently. I do realize that there are things that the grid needs to do to improve in the US specifically that will make wind energy and solar energy more compatible than what it currently is. But yeah, this is really cool to see that this project is happening, that this project was greenlit, that it's going to be such a huge impact. 1.2 million homes are going to get power from this. It's just really cool to see. All right, for the things that I liked, I was going to, let me see if I can, oh no, I can't increase the size of it at all. So yeah, I was going to just show you guys the pictures more close up maybe. Darn. Okay. So I was going to show you the pictures, apparently not more close up, but you can see that there are so many bodies here, like 10, 15-ish. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 pieces of each thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay. So 9 pieces of each thing means that they are going to build at least 9 more vehicles with the practice assembly line. Well, with the assembly line that they're currently validating. And I can hardly wait to see where this goes. Can hardly wait to see the remainder of the validation process and how they get to production. Yeah, just so neat. Their warehouse is filling up. Their production facility, rather, is filling up with different components. I could not see anything about what these are. I tried label peeping to see if I could see what some of this stuff was, and I could not see anything. It just says side open and this kind of stuff. There's lettering here that I cannot read because it is too far away. There's lettering here that I can't read because it's too far away. I wish I had like one of those 90s movies computer technologies where they like zoom in on the image and say enhance, and then it just enhances the image. But I do not have that, nor do I have any way to find access to that kind of thing. But yeah, there's stuff here, and it's a lot of stuff. And because it's a lot of stuff, it's encouraging, although I would like to know what the stuff was. But anyway, yeah, it's just really cool to see this really coming together after following it for so many years. All right, the last thing that I liked this week was a video by Free Power. He talks about he shows us a newscast from Seattle, I believe, that talks about the Aptera, and then he talks about that newscast in very excited terms. I am also super excited because the more I hear from the CEOs, the more I think that they have a real shot at making it, and that real shot is coming this year. So, sorry, not this year, next year, early next year. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how things shape up. I can't wait to get this thing. Like, the more we see validation testing, the more we see them putting together their production lines, the more we see them working with the engineers that worked at CPC, the more I see of their progress and how quickly they're making their progress and how much they're hiring. But yeah, I can hardly wait. It's just, woo. Let's go. That will about do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am the Ninjaneer. If you like this video, please like and or subscribe. Also do the other YouTubey things, the comments, the what have yous. And yeah, thank you guys so much for your time, and I'll catch you next time.